This was our first rehearsal for a new premiere we're doing. There's 3 American one-act operas called Proximity. So we just kind of stumbled our way through the score. I think it's going to be really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fun.
But we're getting ready to open 2 French operas. So we're like just shy of tack for Verdi's Don Carlo and then Rossini's Condori. So it's been full and fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm gonna look at the email you sent me to refresh my memory. You had a couple comments about students. I will.
The very last student has a little bit of sensory processing.
Got it.
She gets overwhelmed with all the
Yep.
concentrating.
Perfect. Yeah, that's good.
These 2 students are Chris Missick students.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, first half is all like high schoolers,
Yeah.
and these are all adults.
Are these guys working toward like solo and ensemble kind of stuff? Or kind of a mix? Yeah.
Kind of a mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah?
This thing again.
Yeah, of course. I should meet this pianist over here. Hey,
That
good to meet you. I'm really happy to be able to work with you today. Yeah, thank you.
They went for water. Oh, okay. Emma did too.
perfect. All right, I'll wait for them to come back.
Are they coming in?
Yeah, Sienna wants the bathroom.
Sienna's in the restroom. Where do you want them to?
Don't be shy.
Surprise, Sienna.
Okay, sure.
All right. Welcome to our studio masterclass. I'm so excited to have all of you perform and especially to work with, would you prefer to be called Dr. Hassler or Desiree? What is your preference?
You can call me either.
Okay.
honestly. Whatever floats your boat.
Yes, and so just a brief introduction of Dr. Hassler. She teaches at Moody Bible Institute voice and some voice literature classes, these kinds of things. She specializes in lots of interesting solo repertoire. She performs with the Chicago Lyric Chorus at the Chicago Lyric Opera and also performs as a soloist and a chorister around the Chicago area in lots of elite ensembles and loves to do master classes and workshops like this. So you're in for a big treat. And she is my teacher, so you kind of get a little bit, you're going to hear some familiar things in your lessons, I'm sure, but that's always fun. We have a couple of guest students here today from Chris Missick's studio. Thank you, Sienna and Matthew, for being here. We're excited. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Dr. Hassler. Wanted to say a few words. Yay.
Is this a good place for me to stand up here or on the floor?
Yes, up
I will.
here,
Okay.
like From here to here is where
Okay.
the video can
I
see
do like
you
to
most.
move, but I'll try to like stay within this zone.
Sure.
Yeah. I want to welcome you and thank you all so much for being here. Thank you so much to Sarah for the invitation. Sarah and I go way back, actually. As you can tell, I'm older than Sarah, but I think we first met one another at University of Illinois when you were doing undergrad and I was beginning my doctorate, I believe. So it's a joy to be able to collaborate in this way. And the way, I would say, of the parts of my life where I spend my time as a teacher, as a performer, this type of a format is one of my very favorite things to do. And so, how many of you have ever participated in a master class of this type before? Hands up. Okay, and how many is it like completely brand new? Okay, a little bit, yes, okay. So I remember the first time I sang in a master class, and there were a lot of unknowns, and there was an audience, and I thought in my head, like, is this kind of like a mini voice lesson in front of people? And I just remember being like pretty nervous because my first master class was with kind of a big name person when I was in LA, and I just thought, oh my goodness. So I'm not that kind of person to you, and I wanted to speak to you at the beginning just to say, I want to invite all of us, whether we're singing, playing, observing, into just a space of creative play today. This is not going to be like I'm standing up here and she's judging me and making a list of all the things I have to fix before my next audition. It's not that. It's not that. So I want to kind of just set you at ease as much as I can. I have learned over the years teaching never to tell a student not to be nervous. That's silly because I still get nervous. I still sing master classes. I still sing auditions. And there's always a little bit of like, you know, some good nervous energy, which I've learned over the years to use to my advantage. So if you're feeling nervous right now, it's actually okay. It's like really okay. Is anyone brave and to like raise their hand even like a little and be like, I'm a little nervous right now. Is there any like a little nervous? Yeah, let's just name it. There's this amazing clip, actually. There's a comedian named Bill Hader. He was on SNL for a long time, and he made this little clip. Maybe I'll send it to Sarah, and she can bump it to you guys, where he talks about anxiety and like stage performance anxiety. And he said over the years, the one thing that helped him the most was not to pretend that it wasn't there, but to actually acknowledge it and be like, oh yeah, I know you. And then just like, once you acknowledge it, you can kind of move past it, right? And so, we don't have a ton of time. I have about 12 minutes or so with each of you guys. And so, I'm gonna kind of leave it this way. I'll kind of bump the ball into your court a little bit by saying, everyone who's singing today, I'd love to invite you to think of one goal that you hope to accomplish with your piece. It could be something very general, like if you're someone who gets nervous and notices that you get shorter of breath when you're nervous, it could be, your goal might be something like, I'm gonna really plant my feet and take my time and set every breath to the best of my ability. That could be something. Or it could be a very specific moment, like when I go up to that F sharp, I'm gonna relax my jaw this time. It could be something like that, right? Or it could be a character thing. But I'm gonna invite each of you who's singing today to choose one thing to kind of help focus your energy on. Because some of you may have sung these songs like hundreds of times. And there's a comfort that comes into doing a piece a lot of times, right? But I think there's something wonderful for me as your audience member to know that when you stand up to perform, the thing that sets us apart as singers is that we're storytellers. I mean, I love pianists and violinists and cellists. We share melody, we share shape and intention and color, but we have text. And that's a great responsibility, but it's also a wonderful freedom. So I invite all of you as you're singing today to just be in the moment with your singing. It's not a cut and paste, right? Like this version is maybe different than the one you were doing in your shower an hour and a half ago where you're like, oh, this is gonna be fine. Maybe this version is very similar, maybe it's a little different. You may surprise yourself
I always love this. Occasionally I'll see students who kind of find some projection and some energy that they never expected until they put it on its feet in front of an audience. So hold space for any or all of that to be true. And so, last thing I'll say before we get started is, if you feel personally that it would help you to share the goal that you have in mind before you sing, you're welcome to, because that's something I can look for and we can kind of address as we go. Or if that's something you want to keep to yourself, that's perfectly fine as well. So I want to thank you again. I want you to know I'm looking at all of your eyeballs. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to work with you and to reinforce the already good work that I know you're doing and see if we can find ways to really embody and enjoy the storytelling elements of our singing and find maybe just a little bit more freedom or a fresher way of approaching something today. So with that in mind, I'll invite our first singer up, and I will say, I would love if we could, when you come up to sing, let's give everyone a hand, because it takes a lot to do that. And then when you stand up to sing, please announce, even though we have the program, announce your name and what you're singing. This is something that my students always laugh at. I make them do it 100 times, because this is the hard part, right? Like you get the wiggles and then you go up for an audition. This is an important thing to practice. So even if it doesn't go as you planned, it's okay. Let's just practice that together. So who is our first singer? Emma, come on up. Let's give Emma a hand. And I should say, sorry, I'll say this one last thing. Stay up here, Emma. Stay. You're so good. I'm going to set a timer on my phone so that I can stay on task, because I have so much fun doing this. It could be like all day, and we have places to be, I know. I'm going to let you, I don't want to start and stop you guys a lot. I want you to get at least well into the piece, but because we are short on time, once you've finished a large section, I may pause you to kind of work a couple things, and we'll go back if that's okay. Is that all right? Most of you will probably get all the way through your piece, but if there's like a lot of repeat, I may choose that if that's okay with you. Okay, thanks, Emma.
So feel free to kind of most all of them I'm encouraged to bring their voices.
Great.
And some of them are still at the point of needing the music a little bit.
Sure.
Too.
There's no judgment in it.
Hi, I'm Emma Harper, and I'll be singing Let Me Wander Not Unseen and or Let the Merry Bells Ring Round. Let me wander not unseen by hedgerow elms on hillocks green. There the plowman near at hand whistles over the furrowed land. There the plowman near at hand whistles over the furrowed land. And the milkmaid singeth blithe, and the moon his side, and every shepherd tells his tale unto the hawthorn in the dale. And every shepherd tells his tale unto the hawthorn in the dale.
Excellent. I'm going to pause us here. Emma, great start. But I know once we get into the bells, we're going to be going, and I'm not about to stop you there. Beautiful start. Really fine. Fine work. So one thing that I truly love about Handel is that even when it's not overtly up-tempo like the bells are about to be, it's very dance-like.
And this is a Siciliana, so it's written in 12/8, but it really has a swing. Diyam bum bum diyam bum bum diyam ba-dum ba. And I could hear that shape already in your sound, and I think you could go even further. And I think that will help you to enjoy the shape of it. But like, for example, you have the music, yeah? So the last measure of the first page where you have, second to last, there the plowman near at hand whistles. I loved the way you gave the diction there. We can enjoy a little bit more of a like short, long, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. So what I'd love to do real quick is let us take it from, can we take it please from page 86, and we'll take it second system, and then if you can join on the second measure on and the middle, yeah. So just kind of enjoy a little bit more of this long, short, shaping it that way. And then the last thing I'll say is at the top of 87, the breath you take before and every shepherd, you're doing beautiful work to modify enough space on the top. The add vowel is one when we sing classically where I think you could go even further to really let that go on that F. So really feel a beautiful, tall, round British, like on the breath, even before you get there, yeah? So let's go second system of 86. You'll jump in on the next measure of And the Milkmaid, yeah? I'm gonna stay up with you if that's cool.
All right.
Here we go, and.
And the milkmaid singeth blithe.
Good. Long, short, long.
Waits his
Tall,
time,
good.
and every shepherd tells his tale.
Space.
Unto the hawthorn in the dale.
Good. Prep the space on the breath. Here we go. Tall.
And every
Yeah.
shepherd tells his tale.
Keep the shape. Ba.
Under the hawthorn in
Crescendo.
the
Crescendo. Good. Let's continue. Continue. Sorry.
Oh, let the merry bells ring round.
Good.
Oh, let the merry bells ring round. And the sorry. Oh my God. Okay.
It's okay.
Sorry. Oh, let the merry bells ring round, and the jock and rebeck sound, and the jock and rebeck sound,
Good.
and the jock and rebeck sound. To many a youth and many a maid, dancing in the checkered sheet. To many a youth and many a maid, dancing in the checkered sheet.
Try one more time. I don't want you to feel it's okay. I know, and you guys haven't had a whole long time to put this together. There's a lot going on. You're doing great. I want you to feel prepped enough in this breath before the run. Can we take it, please, from the second system, second measure? So you'll come in on to many a youth and many a maid. Yeah? So here's page 89. This is the fifth measure.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's your E. Yeah, good. So let's take it there, right on that measure. And 1.
To many a youth and many a maid, dancing in the checkered sheet. Dancing, dancing in the checkered sheet. dancing, dancing, dancing in the checkered sheet.
Yes, Emma. Give her a hand. Good. All right, I'm going to stay on task. We've got a little bit over 4 minutes, which is perfect. So let me tell you, this is, well, nice job, teacher. This is a really great piece for your voice. So if you were to bring this somewhere like solo and ensemble or something like that, my first comment would be, excellent choice. It fits your voice really beautifully. It's something that I think is challenging, but you're well capable of now, which I think is always lovely to hear. I hear a lot of success in this sound. So just like we talked about in the opening part of this aria, this is a different type of dance. It's a different type of dance. And I think we can, and I hear a lot of shape in it already. I want to look at a couple of moments. Let's say page 89. So one of the things in this reduction, like in the piano part, you see how the left hand has these quarters, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can always like feel that, if you can imagine this like really yummy, like long cello strokes, zoom, zoom, zoom. That's kind of like what's propelling you in all of your like lighthearted, joyful singing. So I just want to invite you to notice this. We're going to take the run on dancing at the bottom of 89, and I hear the shape already, and I want to see if you can go further with accenting the dot, and then when you have the straight notes, right? So we and like every time you get to the dotted quarter, let us know that that's really fun for you. Like that's your favorite part of the dance. And then when you get into your very last page on 90, the third system, when you have dancing in the checkered shade, that G is short. But a wise person told me one time, there's no short notes in Handel. So we don't want it to feel like a little hiccup, right? So sing it as written lengthwise, but I think diction-wise, if you can feel like it belongs a little bit more to the end. Dancing in the, like it's one word, in the checkered shade. So it doesn't feel like a separate event, yeah? So let's have some fun. Let's dance it out. From 89, let's just go, please, second system, second measure. We'll take it to many a youth. So this is the E to a C sharp. Can we take it there to, yeah. So here we go, and 1, 2, sorry, here we go, and again, and 1, 2, good,
dancing in the checkered sheet.
good, nice breath,
Dancing, dancing, dancing in the checkered sheet.
good, and 1,
Too many a youth and many a
quarter,
maid,
good,
dancing in the checkered sheet. Dancing, dancing, dancing in the checkered sheet.
yes, yeah, all right, Emma, beautiful work, let's give her a hand. Good, nice work. Thank you. You were the brave first soul. That's excellent. So I think already a lot of the shape and intention that is already there, I think we just kind of amplified it. Oh, see, I'm on time. That's good. We just kind of amplified it and gave it a little bit more of that buoyant sort of clarity, which is really fun. And from a technical singing perspective, it kind of helps keep you buoyant in the throat so it never feels tight. That's nice work. Good
Good job. All right. That's lovely. Let's see. We have, is it Sienna? Come on up. Let's give her a hand. Sienna, would you like to get right into your piece, or do you want to discuss perhaps a goal? Your choice entirely.
My goal is to not be short of breath, because usually when I perform, I forget to fully breathe. Also, my name is Sienna Makloff, and I'm going to be singing Into the Night.
Yeah, beautiful. The nice thing about Into the Night is that it has a beautiful sort of built-in sustain. There's nothing feeling rushed about it, right?
Right.
Very good. I think that's a beautiful goal. Let's do it.
Silently into the night I go, into the fragrant night I know not where. The path is strange, my weary steps are slow. I do not find you there. I turn my gaze toward the morning sun, as from the east he comes through the dark and the dew. The flowers lift their heads, the night is gone, but where are you? The countless weary steps I do not heed, though they be over land or boundless sea. What matters where the road may lead, if I but come again at last to thee? Silently into the night I go, into the starry night of heavenly blue. I care not where the road may lead, if I but come again at last to you. Silently, silently, I come to you.
Thanks, Sienna. Good job. All right. Oh, very nice. Okay, so you had a really good goal at the beginning that you articulated to us, and that was to kind of just get underneath that breath. How did it feel? Like some success, other times?
Yeah.
So I think when we have breath goals, which as singers, it's always great to have breath goals, whether it's a piece that moved quickly like the first Handel we heard, or something like this that's more sustained, I think getting into a breath earlier sometimes means we can cheat the end of a phrase. Like for example, Claire Edwards wrote this piece, and if you look on the first page, you marked in your breaths,
There's not one rest on this first page, which as a younger singer, that used to freak me out because I'm like, there's nowhere to breathe. But ultimately, I've learned as a not so young singer that that just means you have so much freedom. That you have so much freedom. And so I think, especially with younger singers, such an important part of learning to sing well is really being true to rhythm, holding out all those beats. But once you know that, with the guidance of your teacher, I think it's a good idea to just build in how long your body needs to prep the next phrase. I'm not a believer in a one-size-fits-all breath because phrases are very different and they require a lot of different kinds of breath in the way that not necessarily the process of preparing them, but if I'm singing a short, low, mid phrase versus a really high sustained phrase, those are gonna take different tools of breath. Let me just start by saying, and one other thing about breath, for all of you and for you, and we'll do a little bit of work now with this, when you breathe as a singer, yes, you're filling your lungs up with air because we need air to pass through our vocal cords to sing and to make sound. But you're also breathing to communicate an idea. It's both. So, these are sort of old school words. I don't talk like this, and you probably don't talk like this. I don't know you well, but I'm just making some assumptions based on your age. But I think you could understand what you're singing. This is a whole scene, and you can just picture yourself in this magical sort of twinkling twilight of a night. And I think if you can breathe with the idea that you're communicating idea, that would be beautiful. I think as well that when you're sustaining it, I should say, your voice is really even. Nice work. Like there's a real lovely evenness of tone, and that's great. And I think you can go further in energizing the sustain, right? So when we're holding a note, we don't ever really want to feel like we're holding a note, right? A pianist can very artfully hit a note and it will decay, it goes away. For us as singers, we have to keep creating sound. And we're not just creating sound, we're creating the idea that we're singing about in that moment, right? So when you, and this can be accomplished by singing loud or soft, but one moment I would love to look at, when you're on page 69, I should ask you as well, like what is home base for you style-wise?
I'm not really.
Do you do a mix of like art song and more contemporary stuff, or you kind of land mostly in this type of repertoire?
I don't know. Kind of both.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna like invite us to play a little bit with like putting on a little bit more in this one moment. I want you to sound like you. I don't want you to sound like you're imitating an opera singer. No. But I think we can go a little bit further on page 69 where you have, actually let's take the pickup into 69. So the last word of 68, you'll start on the countless weary steps, yeah? When you get to that second line, overland or boundless sea, can you think a little taller and rounder? On that forte, I hear volume, but I think we can find a little bit more space, particularly when we get to the word, I care not where the road may lead. An E vowel is tricky because it's a flat, wide vowel. And when we're singing an art song, I think we want to just naturally find a little bit more neutral space. If I take an E vowel and I don't modify it, E, fine. If I'm singing this song, I'm going to want to find some natural, just neutral space. E, and there's a lot of resonance in that space, right? So can you just think about, when you get to the line, where the road may lead, to take that E vowel, like when we speak in speech, lead, and just go like a little more relaxed in the cheek. Say, lead. Say for me.
Okay.
Lead. Yeah, and just one of these. Lead.
Lead.
Yes, yes. So her soft palate just went, oh, there's some cushy space there. And your larynx was like, oh yeah, I can relax a little. So that's not affected. I'm not asking you to sing like lead on that one word. No, I want you to be you. But I want you to play with just a little more space. Let's sing it, please. Can we take it from the bottom of 68? Let's do the last two measures. So she'll play you in right before the countless weary steps, okay? Nice breath. Here we go.
The countless weary steps I do
Good.
not hear.
That's it.
Though they be over land.
That's it. A little taller.
or
Boundless
sea.
Let it grow. Good.
I care not where the road may lead.
Yeah. Good, good. Let's stop right there. Very good. So to me, I hear the little tiny bit of edge in that sound that was there before is starting to relax out. Good. So when you have, I cannot, when I speak it, I care not. If I didn't modify at all, I cannot. It's not like a bad sound, right? But I think if we want to go to this dreamy place, I just relax the diction a little and speak for me, I cannot. It's going to feel silly.
Okay.
I cannot. Really lazy. One more time. I cannot. Everyone all together. I care not. I can. Yes. The thing that's crazy is if you take that approach when you sing it, we will hear the words, I care not, but we'll hear a lot more resonance and ease. Yeah? Let's try it, shall we? Let's take the measure of I care not. You'll hear it. You'll come in on the last beat of that measure. This is this. Yeah. So right from the top of that measure. 2. Here we go. I
care
Yes.
not where
Keep going.
the road
Let it go.
may lead.
Yes. Beautiful. That's so nice. Good. Now, when you stop that lovely released moment, it's an ensemble thing for your pianist, but also for your audience. If you can finesse these 3 little notes, like you're really leading that moment, because you have a fermata on lead. Lead. And then when you come in on, if I but come, each of those, diam, bam, ba, you just have to kind of like treat that a little bit more intentionally, and then we'll be right with you. Very good. Now, last thing I want to do, you're doing beautifully. Your last moment, your last phrases when you have silently, and she gives you silently pianissimo. I come to you. Can you find some way of motivating why you say it twice? I don't know what that is. We can play it lots of different ways. Oh, there's my timer. Well, we'll take 30 seconds and just do this moment real quick. So, try the first one. Let's just play with this. Try the first one like I'm showing up. Like there's a sense of silently. And the second one is like, wow, I really hope he's going to be here. Silently. Like if you have your own reason, it could be any reason. But there's a vulnerability when you're telling a story that in the subtext that draws us into that story. So let's try it this way. We'll take the 2 silentlys, we'll go to the end. The first one, let it be underneath that, I'm showing up, I'm here. And the second one, I really hope he's gonna be here. And then the third one, the most beautiful vowels you can sing, yeah? All right, here we go, right on silently. This is the 3rd system 2nd measure. Yeah, the last page. Here we go, nice breath.
Silently.
I'm here. I hope he's here.
Silently.
Yeah, good. Get a nice breath and sing legato vowels.
I come to you.
Spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it. Yeah, very nice. All right, good. Give her a hand. That's nice. Good job. Excellent. Thanks, Sienna. Matthew. Matthew, come on up. You're singing one of my favorite Ben Moore pieces. I have a cool story about this. He wrote this for a soprano named Deborah Voigt. And Deborah Voigt was singing a role at Lyric Opera when I was there. And Ben Moore and Deborah Voigt were on the elevator with me because they were rehearsing. He flew in to rehearse this piece with her because she recorded this for him. And so that was kind of a fun moment. But This piece is cool because it has the word subaqueous in it.
Yes.
I don't know of any other art song that uses the word subaqueous. You have a cool underwater theme. So what do you think? Anything you want to talk about right now, or should we just jump in and do it? Yes, my tall friend, please.
I think like my goals are to to create that like fluidity throughout the piece,
Yeah.
and also like just like staying like loose and like ringing on like the higher parts of the song.
Yes, beautiful. I love those goals. Whenever you're ready. When you're standing up here, all you need to do is just like listen. Just listen to her play it. It's a different energy than just waiting to enter, right? So just listening.
I am in need of music that would flow over my fretful feeling fingertips, over my bitter tainted trembling lips, with melody deep, clear, and liquid slow. Oh, for the healing swaying. Oh, that low of some song sung to rest the tired dead, a song. To fall like water on my head, and over quivering limbs dream flush to glow. There is a magic made by melody, a spell of rest, a quiet breath, and cool art that sings through the fading colors deep. To the subaqueous stillness of the sea, and floats forever in a moon deep pool, held in the arms of rhythm. And of sleep.
was so fun. It always sounds like a John Williams movie or something to me. How old are you, can I ask?
16.
You're 16. Oh, I have a 16-year-old son in my house, and I have to say, like, kudos to you. You know, in my years of teaching, I've taught a lot of teen male voices, and it's one of the funnest, greatest challenges. I taught a professional boy soprano who ended up being like a lyric baritone, and I was like, you want to take a couple months off? He's like, no. And I was like, okay, let's do it. You kind of learn a lot, but you're handling your voice beautifully, really,
Thank
really. A lot of elegance in your sound, which is great. So, your goals, you said you wanted to have like a fluidity in the sound. You wanted to have loose, ringing high notes, and I think for the most part there was a lot of success in that. Let's talk about a couple character things and then a couple technical things, if it's cool with you.
Yeah.
So, your very first, this Elizabeth Bishop poem, I think is such great lyrics. It's really cool. There's a lot here. So you name at the very beginning, I am in need of music that would flow over my fretful, feeling fingertips, over my bitter, tainted, trembling lips with melody, deep, clear, and liquid slow. Wow, it's like quite a lyric. So what state of mind do you imagine yourself in this opening? Are you doing great? You loving life?
I think it's like desperate.
Yeah, so you could play this desperately. Yeah, I think you're in a place that is unsettled and uncomfortable for you.
Yeah.
And when we sing as singers and we're trying to communicate unsettled and uncomfortable, we always want to do that without being unsettled and uncomfortable here, right? It's a beautiful challenge, but I think you're up for it, my friend. So from the beginning, can I hear, in addition to what you've already given me, which is lovely legato, well, like good breath pressure. I think you're not overblowing, which is really good. That would flow over my fretful feeling fingertips. There's a lot of language to play with, right?
Yeah.
So before you name that you're fretful, can I see and hear on your very first phrase, can I have a G, please, Deborah? So when you, can we do 2 bars before that entrance, and I'm gonna demo something for you. So even on the breath, I'm showing you this. So I take a breath to sing, and I'm gonna tell you how I'm feeling. I am in need of music that would flow over my fretful fingertips. Sorry, I don't know this very well. But there's a sense in that sound on the breath, right, where I'm like, I'm having a hard time. Before I make vocal noise, I want you to know that I'm trying to communicate something to you that comes from very deep within, right? When you have bitter, tainted, that really came through when you sang that. I'd love to do this opening, my friend. When you get to melody on measure 18, check in, if you will. Again, that E vowel, melody. You can just think a little lazier in the jaw and on the tongue. Melody, D, because you're crescendoing this into another E vowel on the word deep. So I think you want to set this up like you made it. It came out and it didn't crack, nothing happened there, but I think it can feel easier and just a little more release. Can you go to a lazier place vowel-wise? And then when you pull back on clear, that's lovely. And then last thing I'll say, when you have liquid slow, like that word, liquid slow, or those words I should say, it wants to feel like, it's like you're describing, you want music to just wash over you and fix it. Yeah? Can you give me more of that in the sound? Let's take it from, let's see. We don't need to play this whole intro, maybe 2 before your first entrance, if you don't mind, and we'll jump around a little if it's cool with you. Yes, please. Like you have something to say to us. You need it.
I am in need of music that would flow over my fretful feeling fingertips,
Yes.
over my bitter tainted trembling lips, with
Lazy.
melody deep, clear, and liquid slow.
Beautiful. Yes. So your voice is doing what the words are doing now.
Yeah.
And it was almost doing all of that. Yes. Good. Very good. When you have, like the next line, I'm just going to give you a couple quick things. I think we could go for a little bit more. Sarah, he's your student? Ah, Chris's student. So I don't always know how like terminology works. So if this doesn't make sense or if it's unhelpful, it's fine. But I think we could go for a little bit more release in your larynx when you attack that first on the D, oh. There, as you were sustaining it, it felt a little like it was getting tight here. So can you just think about sighing into that, oh, a little bit more. Oh, yeah? Can we do that? I should have just let you go. Take it directly on liquid slow. This is measure 20. Yeah? So,
Yes.
right on it with a good breath, liquid.
Liquid slow.
Okay, one little adjustment that's going to make it
Yeah.
easier. When we speak, we say liquid. Can you sing liquid? Like a British person would say liquid. So say liquid, get to high larynx. Liquid slow.
Yeah.
Right on it. Here's your D. Here we go. And
liquid slow.
good. Keep going.
Oh, for the healing sway.
Excellent. Good. Let's stop there. Good. That had a lot more resonance, and it
Yeah.
just, to me as your listener, it sounded more pliable, like you weren't having to negotiate so hard with it. Love it. Good. Page 16 on your third system. This is just a note. We're not going to sing it, but where you have quivering limbs, dream. That's another one on that E vowel. As you're sustaining it, you can just think about releasing the depth into it as you're singing it. The last thing I'll say, time-wise, measure 17. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it was coming. I had that internal sense. When you have, let's see, this is for everyone in the room. Page 17, when you have and cool heart that sings through the fading, you're giving some beautiful strength in that sound. And I think support wants to always, in my mind, be a balance of strength and flexibility.
Yeah.
I heard the strength and I loved it. I also sensed that it was a little tighter as you went. And so can you think about doing both? I like the analogy, voice teachers do like analogies, of like a big fat rubber band. You pull on it. It's not like a fixed wooden rod, right? That you pull on it, and it takes strength. It takes muscle to do that. Sometimes I'll have students like hold my hands and do like a big bend as you're singing, which really engages your abdominal muscles. But as you're singing that, I would love for you to sing this once more, and we'll take it from, let's take it from top of 17, a spell of rest. And treat these as shorter phrases, a spell of rest and quiet breath. And so we don't want to hold those over. We want to get out of the way vocally so that you can, when you get to hard, that sinks, go lazy on those vowels through the fading colors deep, okay?
Yeah.
So we'll think about flexing that support as much as we're singing strong. All right, can we take it a spell of rest? Here's your G. Here we go, and go.
A spell of rest, a quiet breath, and cool heart that sings.
Let's try one more time. We're gonna be brave, and we're gonna take it right on. Cool heart, and I want you to think so lazy, like one word. Cool heart. And that L that requires a lot of tongue, we're just gonna minimize it. Say
Okay.
for me, Cool ha. Like ah.
Cool-ha.
Yeah, so use the H. Cool ha. One more.
Cool-ha.
Yeah, and I think use the H to actually energize that breath a little bit more. So instead of feeling like cool ha, the vowels are ooh, ah, right?
Mhm.
So use the H, it's your friend. Let's take it one more time. A spell of rest. Top of 17. Second measure. Here's the G. Here we go.
A spell of rest,
Good. Yes.
a quiet breath,
Yes.
and cool
Ah,
heart that
good.
sings through the fading colors deep.
Excellent. I wish we had more time. That was good work. Yes, good for you.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, beautiful. Thanks. Something I've learned over the years, and I think I'm still learning in my singing as a teacher and as a singer, is that we can go further to release the diction than we think, and it will still really cut through. That was nice work. Good job. Okay, who's my next friend? Come on up. Maybe I'll set my timer at the right time this time. Is it Layla?
Yes.
Welcome. Tell us what you're going to sing, Layla.
I'm singing Born to Entertain from Ruthless.
From Ruthless. This is a fun one.
Yes.
Sarah, is Layla your student? Fantastic. And Layla, how old are you?
I'm 12.
You're 12. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. So, your choice. You want to just jump in and do it, or is there anything at the top of this where you're like, okay, this is the one thing I'm going to try for in this song? Either way is good.
I mean, I kind of want to work on like improving my head voice and making it more confident.
Love that. Love that. Let's do that. Okay, we'll take it from the top. I'll keep it in mind.
Some girls like to cook and sew. When I cook, it's in a show. I was born to entertain.
4, 1, 2.
How you doing?
Yeah,
Some girls prefer to help mom clean. I'd rather learn a dance routine. I was born to entertain. Where you from? Instead of walking, I go flapping.
1.
When I tap, I make it happen.
And 1.
Mom says I have Broadway on the brain. Don't get too comfy in that seat. When I strut my stuff, you'll be on your feet. I was born to sing and dance. Not every showbiz Cinderella has got to come from Pocatello. My star will rise like bubbles in champagne. By now you've guessed my one ambition. It's not to be no mathematician. I was born to amuse, from the tip of my nose to the tap of my shoes. So strike up the band and hand me my hat and my cane. 'Cause I was born to entertain.
Yes. Good. Nice work, Layla. So good. So good. I love this piece. It's so fun. So, how long have you been working with Sarah, would you say? Ish. Have you? That's awesome. That's so good. So, when I first went into voice lessons, I felt like I had two really distinct voices. I felt like I could like really belt, yeah, and then I had this like very kind of unfocused, breathy. And I just remember being like, I want these two to be friends. I want to have a little bit more middle ground. So I will say, you're already well past where I was when I was making that discovery. But your goal of wanting to have some more consistent head voice in the tone, I get that. And I think for all of us, singers, we do this thing. We do this thing where we tend to think in boxes or like absolutes, like black and white. Like, this is my theater voice, this is my classical voice, right? We do this. I see some heads nodding. I still have to fight doing this. But I think no matter what we're doing, understanding the voice in terms of its parts and registers, no matter what style you're singing in, being able to dial in a little bit more head voice or a little bit more chest voice or placing it a little bit higher or lower, these things will all help you. I think your instincts are really, really good for the most part. And I think, so one thing I noticed, like on your second page, on page 13, like this one of these moments where you have, when you go, I'd rather learn a dance routine, then you take the breath right before that C on I. It was interesting because like the distance between this B and the next note, which is a C, we know on the page it's like not that far, but it probably feels a little bit far when you're singing it, right? We've all been there. There are some half steps for me that feel like a third or more just because they're really high in my voice, right? So the good news is it's closer than you think. And I think that, that I, when you sing the word I, bear with me, we're gonna get nerdy for a second here. I is a diphthong, it has two parts, ah and e, I. In this style, I actually think it will suit you to find a little less deep place on that. Can I have a C, please? Yes. So instead of if you can find a little bit more of the top half of your mouth, like the northern hemisphere, if you touch your tongue to the back of your teeth, now we can all do this. Touch your tongue to your top back molars right here. Feel that kind of like triangle between there, and then the little groove between your front teeth. That's your playground for this style. And you can really play with some of that width while encouraging more of that head voice plays. So can we take it from, I want to make this, and let's take it right, she'll give you the measure like where you say, how you doing? I love that button. That's so cute. When you come in on Some Girls Prepare to Help Mom Clean, we're going to keep singing. And then when you get to the line, I was born to entertain, can you smile into that sound a little bit more? Like touch your tongue one more time to your back top molars. And that's where that wants to go versus yeah? Let's play with it. All right. So, oh no, I've lost my place. Yes, from the how you doing measure. Yeah, cool. Here we go.
Some girls prefer to help mom clean.
So one more time. That's okay. And I know you guys have had limited rehearsal time. Is it possible to go a tiny bit faster? I think it will help everything.
Some girls prefer to help mom clean.
Good.
I'd rather learn a dance routine.
Smile into it.
I was born to entertain.
Yeah. So one more time. So when you came in on that, we can think like head voice. I was. Then you mix. Born. I heard. I was born. So that tells me, your voice can totally do it on born. Yeah. No. Yeah. So. Yeah. So can you just like play with me in this room right now and like to the pipe organ? Because I sometimes have conversations with pipe organs and say, hey, go for it. Say, hey.
Hey.
Yeah, and like really find the top. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, good for you. Say, hey, I was born to entertain.
Hey, I was born to entertain.
Yeah, that's kind of the space. So we can find some of that like higher place when you come in and you sing. Can I have an A natural, please, on dance? When you have dance routine, on that breath. Teen, you're in that place. Teen, do it with me. Teen, one more time. Teen, and you're on go.
Teen,
One more time with me.
teen,
Good, like it's like one long word. You're doing awesome. So it's like, I think so much of the time for us is like just tucking ourselves into that we don't have to reset for that high note and not thinking of it as like the high note, but just the next note, you know? Let's do it together. Let's take it directly. I'd rather learn a dance routine. So, yeah? So let's take this tempo. 1, 2, ready, go. I'd rather learn
a dance routine.
Yes!
Was born to
Yeah,
entertain.
Yes, good. Up top, girl, you did it. Yes, good. All right, we're gonna jump around. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. That's awesome. So when you get to page 14, don't get too comfy in that seat. I want to practice this again. Strut my stuff and you'll be on your feet. Here's what I want you to do. Play with this with me. When you have on your feet, you know how your rhythm is excellent, by the way, really good. So you know how you come in and it's like 1, I was born.
Yeah.
When you sing there, can we do a little stomp on that?
Okay.
So right before you sing, so you're gonna go, I was born. It'll just help you like release into it a little
Yeah.
bit. All right, I'm gonna count off 4 right before don't get too comfy. So this is the second system. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go.
Don't get too
yes.
comfy in that seat. When
Yeah.
I strut my stuff, you'll be
on
your feet.
with a stomp and 1.
I
Yes.
was born to sing and dance.
Yes, good. Let's look at sing and dance. Can you do for me? And we're all going to do this together so everyone feels silly, not just me and not just you. We're going to do yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I got some singers in the room. I hear it. Yeah. So instead of feeling like, yeah, oh, this is my choir voice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that there's head voice in that mix for sure, but not so tall. Yeah, 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 yeah. Can you give a little hum? Yeah, find the front of that. Yeah, we can all do this, and we're gonna do yeah, yeah, yeah. Here we go, everyone together. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. We're gonna sing it, my friend, from Don't Get Too Comfy one more time. And when we get to that moment on Sing and Dance, I want you to chase that kind of feeling. Here's your D on Don't Get Too Comfy. Let's take this tempo. 1, 2, ready, go.
Don't get too comfy
Yes.
in that seat. When I strut my
Yes.
stuff, you'll be on your feet.
And 1.
I was born to sing and dance.
Yes, good, good, good. So, how did that feel?
Good.
I broke my cardinal rule. I try never to be like, how did that feel? Because a lot of times in the moment you're like, I don't even know what just happened. I'm working with a strange person. It's okay, it's okay, I'm retracting that. So let me tell you what I noticed about that. Is that like a finished sound? Not necessarily. However, that had a lot more presence of tone. It didn't kind of pop into choir girl voice for 2 notes and then back. It was a lot closer to the other tone that you were singing. And so I think for all of us in the room, this is from my heart to yours, like actually, truly. No matter how old you are in this room, celebrate the incremental things. You know, because there are sometimes you can go, I've done it as a singer in a master class, and I've popped out like one really great note, and I've walked out, and I'm like, how did I do that? I'm probably never gonna do that again, right? But incrementally, you got a lot closer to your goal of finding a little bit more head in that mix. And that's a place that I think you guys can continue exploring. That's really nice work. Let's give her a hand. That's good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I have a 13-year-old daughter, and I think she would be like, Mom, don't make me stand up and sing.
Right now, it's about 3:10. You can take like a 10-minute break. In the library, there's coffee and cookies and cookies. There's one Western biscuit with
that you can close.
This is a good one. Yeah, I love this.
It's good to sing, and it's like,
It is.
it connects well with students.
Yes, get some good release. Your mom's cute. I enjoy talking to her. Your mom's cute. Oh yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Okay, so my name is Olja Milojkovic, and I'll be singing O Del Mio Amato Ben.
Excellent. Whenever you're ready.
O del mio amato ben,
here. This is such a beautiful start. It's Olja?
Olja, yes.
Well, first of all, lovely Italian diction. Nice teamwork here. This is good. This is good. I spent a lot of my life around Italian diction, and I'm like, I get all of these words. This is beautiful. So one of the great things about this piece and about singing Donaudi, I think, is when we think about style, we think about Italian style. The bel canto composers like Rossini and Bellini and Donizetti, they're laying out just beautiful lines to sing. And then we get to Donaudi and Tosti, and they're like the typical like bleeding heart Italian, like this lyric is like talking about like wandering aimlessly through the empty halls, like calling for him, and he's not there, and I'm searching aimlessly. It's like the most Italian thing ever. One of the, and you're already getting at some of these big release moments, which is lovely. There's a lot of push and pull in this. which I appreciate having Sarah there because it's hard, like when you don't have a lot of time with the pianist to like really lead and find each other in this, but I think we're onto some good things. Let me give you just a couple of technical thoughts that I think we can implement when we go on to the second verse, because it's very similar, as you know. So, when you have on your very first phrase, when you start getting toward the top of the staff, you might go over the diction with Sarah and say, perduto incanto, and you would be correct. But when you sing it and it starts to get to the top of the staff, on the end of the word perduto, as you elide and connect into incanto, you can lazy it up a bit more. So let me demonstrate. Can I take it directly on the vocal? The very first vocal on that E flat. Here we go, and oh, del mio amato ben, perduto in canto, etc., right? So the production feeling of that, duto in canto. Can you speak it once that way? Duto. Duto in canto. Yeah, and because we're aiming toward the top of the staff, you can give a little bit more gas pedal to that sound. Duto in canto. One more time in speech. Duto in canto. Yeah, that's it, that's it. So we're just releasing that diction. Then on your next line, when you have luce dagli occhi, Italians love their double consonants, and I hear you liking them very much. You can love them more. Dagli occhi. Yes, so there's like that pause, right? When you get to see if you can feel how close those pitches are. You're singing it in tune. It's totally in tune, but tone-wise, I think you could just feel the closeness and it will sound more consistent. Can we take it directly on that line on lungi? Here's the top of the second page. Here's the E flat. So we'll take a nice breath and come into it. And yeah, right there. Good, good, very good. On miei, we'll stop there for one moment. Miei. Can you do it once on an E vowel? See, I'm proving I don't hate E vowels. I'm using it as a tool right now. We're going to do E with me. You feel how you can really find that frontal resonance? Yeah, so that's what we want to find. So let's try it on miei a cappella once. Yes, yeah, that just keeps it in the zone so it's not coming and going. That's beautiful, Olya. Beautiful. Good, good, good. Yes, lovely sound at the bottom of the page especially. When you have con piano il cori di speranza, then you have the Italian ma. There's always a ma, which is but. There's always got to be, everything's going fana. Ma. Cerco in van, I search in vain. Chiamo in van, I call in vain. You're not there, right? So we're going to do a thing right now where we're going to take it on con pieno il cor. So this is, you see where I am on the third system? Yep. And I'm going to take a stroll. Friends who are watching at home, sorry, I'm going to be off camera. When you're ma, cerco in van, chiamo in van, sing it to me. I'm going to get some distance. I want you to sing it out here. And I don't mean simply sing it louder. What I'm actually doing here is helping you to sing directionally. So it's not, it will be louder probably, but it's more of like just finding direction out, okay? So let us
the same notes.
Aha! Love it. Yeah, we have such a tendency as singers to sing low to high in the body. We think of like low notes, high notes, but when we start to really think point A to point B, it's very freeing. Yeah? Let's take it from con piano il cor. Here's your A flat. That's it. Yes. Good. Good, let's continue. Good. Same thoughts on the second verse, yeah? And 2 and 3 and me. Good. Yes. Keep releasing. Yes, good to me. And yes. Even if it's soft, think to me. That's it. Keep going. Good. And good. That's it to me. Yeah. Yes. Good. Keep it intimate. Good. Finesse each of these. Beautiful. Yes. Good. This is a hard song. Let's give her a hand. This is good. Yes. Beautiful. This is not one of the songs that sings itself, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I don't believe any song sings itself, but especially not this one. So this is beautiful. I know we just have a few minutes. You were getting into some really lovely release just by thinking about some of the spatial work in this room. So one aspect of your voice, Olga, that I think is really lovely, that I would love for you to explore even more, is after, like in the second verse, when you say, Sol mi tormento un pensiero, it gets all big. Like without him, how can I go on? When it comes back, sorry, I sang a big rehearsal this morning, I'm a little toasty, but just finding that like sweet space where you can really release the diction as much as you do in the big singing. Mi par così. For me, I think of this like the oo vowel is your friend there. Can you do, I have it in front of me, the mi par così, but do it on an oo vowel?
The whole phrase.
Just that phrase. So here's the pitch. Just do a really relaxed. Ooh, here we go. Ooh. So right there, it's all good. Yeah. So we want to take that vowel and feel stretchy with it. Everyone in the room. Ooh! Look how much space I get. Ooh! Yes, and again. One more time alone. Ooh! Yeah, excellent. And I'm going to say occipital joint, you guys. It's happening. There's always one in a class. This little notch here, like where your skull connects to your spine, there, when you slide up, you want to feel really lazy and long with that. So really the feeling in the back of my neck is, ooh, ooh. Show me one of those. Ooh. Yeah, once more. Ooh. Yeah, there it is, there it is. So there's a lot of that lovely back space that's released, but the sound is very forward too. It's both. So then when you go to sing text, it's that ooh space, yeah? Good. Let's finish off our time together. I want to hear sol. This is the second verse. Sol mi tormento. Like, let me really hear how tormented you are. And when you're at the top of the staff, take that torment, but relax your jaw and be lazy with addiction. It can happen at the same time. I believe it. Right on sol. Here's the pitch. Sol and sol mi tormentum That's it. Go to that little place. Yes. Keep it there. Keep it there. Good. Keep it there. Quiet piano. Yes, spin, spin, spin. Yes. Yes. That's some more, like, that's beautiful work. And what you're doing and what she's doing with her voice there takes a lot of control. It takes a lot of control. And that's a beautiful aspect of your singing. So as you continue to do beautiful work with Sarah, I would just encourage you to find, as you're exploring that bigger sound, see if you can really play with the great frontal resonance that you already have and releasing some backspace. So the gesture that I really like for this, maybe she does this with you, I don't know. Are you right-handed? Yes. So I take my right pointer finger, and I just go forward with it as I'm singing a phrase. And then I take my left hand here, and I just come behind. So, if I was only using that front bright sound, if I was really back, it's like what the Italians call chiaroscuro. It's bright and dark, right? So you have that release that goes through the sound, but you're nice and bright, and that's really lovely work. Good for you. Let's give her a hand. Good. Excellent. Good, good. Yeah, my pleasure. Sandy, you're gonna sing some Mozart. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yes, get it all out. It's all good. Okay. All right, tell us what you're singing, Sandy.
I am singing Porgi Amor. Porgi Amor.
Yes.
And what is my goal? My goal is to get grounded and more comfortable in my upper notes.
Yes.
Because they're there, but I've played in the bottom a lot longer.
Yeah, this is a perfect piece to explore on the top. And I haven't even heard you sing yet, but I can already tell by your goal and this piece that I can lead by saying, support and do everything you've worked with Sarah, and you can just be really lazy with that diction. Go to the vowels and let the consonants just defer to what the vowels are doing. Yeah? Let's do it.
Oh
Excellent. This is a beautiful pausing place. We naturally have, this is a long, luscious, lovely aria, which does a lot of things.
I'm going to die.
There's always a morir everywhere. Yes. Beautiful. Good. Good. This is like the perfect piece to address your goal. And one of the fun things for some of my young whippersnappers in the audience, honestly, one of the fun things about growing in your voice and in your instrument is that it's not a fixed instrument. It also can be a lovely challenge from day to day when we're dealing with things like sickness or hormones or allergies or whatever, pregnancy, right? There's a lot of factors. But you're like the perfect age to be exploring this in your voice. It's really, really good. Are you the type of person, can I do a physical?
Sure.
Like, great. Sure. Okay, so the very first order of business with this, I think, is that when you come into that first sound, we just want to think about, like, can you take every vowel, and actually your diction's quite lovely. Can you take every vowel and let it be 50% just like the vowel before and after it? Meaning, when I work this diction, I would be like, porgi amor. But when I sing this, so there's
So it
just
kind
a,
of flows into it.
yeah,
sort of.
there's just a sense like, I think we can get a little deeper into your body with that. And so even your very first onset, when you breathe and you go into that O sound, do you feel comfortable giving a little bend in the knees here? Excellent. Okay, look at this first phrase. I always feel like I can get a little bit more this way with some of my adult students, like the teenagers that are like, oh, I have teenagers at home, I know, I don't want to like push it. But right before you come in, like the bar before your entrance here, I want you to take a breath. And are you comfortable holding my hands? Pull back a little bit at the elbow. Yeah. And then when you're singing, we're going to sing, and I'm going to just guide this. We don't have to go super deep.
Okay.
But what this does is it keeps a very engaged support system. And it just keeps you from locking anything. It's just like we can imagine ourselves underwater. And we're working our quads at the same time.
Well, I think that's one thing too. It's just like it's not just loosening up here. It's loosening
totally.
both.
When you have that ascending line, when you have
There's that one.
yeah,
that one?
yeah, exactly. Lasha, amen, mori. There's that sense of like all the up, but like to build a tall skyscraper, you have to dig way deep into that foundation, right? So I want to do this moment at the beginning, and we're going to hop to the end right there where we stopped and do the same thing. So this is measure, like one full measure before, like two before her first entrance, if you will. Good. That's it. Just relax and breathe, and you can just pull at your elbows a little bit. Yeah. Here we go. Good breath. Follow me. Good breath. Pull at your elbows. Good. Good. Keep going. Good for you. Yeah, that went a lot deeper. You were just connected to your whole self in that sound. Love that. Every once in a while, if I'm teaching a lesson, use a lot of this, and I'll wake up the next day and be like, did I do a leg workout? No, I didn't. I know it's not that. So I did and I didn't. Yeah, exactly. So can we take it now? This is the second page, last system. So this is the measure before her, oh, mila shalmen, yeah? So one full measure there. And then when we get up here, just really don't be afraid to like pull here, because this activates your abs. Totally, yes. All right? So this is a bottom system of that second page, whenever you're ready. Yeah. Oh, no wonder.
Yeah.
This is the measure right before she comes in on. So the first one. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Nice breath. Here we go. Start down. Yeah, that eval and morir inside can really feel. I can see you relaxing your tongue though. Good word. I can see. I saw it the first time. I was
All
like,
these
oh,
lessons
she's
are pending it
relaxing
up."
her tongue. Yes. But yeah, as you go up, oh milasha, if we speak it, we say alme morir, but in sung, alme. There's so much of that schwa, like lazy place. Me morir. Exactly, like you went to the dentist. We'll finish with this right on it. That ascending line on hold. You got it. Pull from the elbows. Nice breath. Go. Yeah, good. Very good. Yes. Man, this is like so fast. I know. I wish we had more time. This is really good work. Keep up the good work, though. This is accomplishing really beautiful things. This is a deceptively difficult aria.
It is.
You're like, I'm learning this.
I've learned it.
I've like avoided it myself.
Well, because the other thing is for me is rhythm, because I feel like
Yeah.
I'm not as good at, so it's good practice.
Mozart is always good for rhythm,
Well,
too.
he's very good.
Yeah,
Yes, our choir's
good.
doing that, so.
Beautiful. Thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you. All right.
Actually, that's not
Kim?
too bad. Yes, Kim.
Wonderful. You're going to sing some Purcell for us.
Yes. I'm Kim McLean, and I'm singing Come All You Songsters, which is from The Fairy Queen
Love it.
by Purcell. And we're kind of weird in terms of we're cutting out all that
Yeah,
long
great.
introduction to get into it.
Sounds like a plan. And I'll encourage you right off the bat, just enjoy and be dancey. Do your thing.
Well,
do it. Yeah.
What I was looking at is being less technical and more emotive, so that's
Yeah.
great.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
And Sarah, you may need to cue me just to get us in there. Yeah. Come on. Okay. Okay. Come on, come on, oh, oh, come on, you stars of the sky, wake and dissemble, wake and dissemble in the
start by saying your sound at the top of the staff is beautifully consistent. Nice work, teamwork. That's great. That's so good. Yes. So I think Come All Ye Songsters falls into a category of songs that we see with Purcell, with Handel. It's an invitation. It's an invitation, right? So right off the bat, and I think your singing and your presentation is already very inviting. There are some moments musically, especially when it sits in a lower part of your voice, where you have more wiggle room to kind of shape. I think sometimes when we're at the top of the staff, we just have to sing the thing, which you're doing. But so instead of feeling quite so legato, come all, it's like, come on guys, come all. This is a very Purcell-like gesture. Then when you get to no none at the end, like that's not even something we have to sing at this moment, but I think you can enjoy a little bit more of that shape. That like short, long, just a bit more. Very good. Let me give you a couple thoughts. So even though we're abridging it, long intro, and then this is a very typical Purcell thing. It gets very thin. You just get a chord, but you have to kind of like continue all of that energy, right? So I want you to start it again, and your very first line, I want you to go through until assemble in this wood, okay? Every time you finish a phrase, like to this wood, can you think about conserving just a little bit of air so that you can think of crescendoing into a release that, like the D of wood, almost treat it like there's an exclamation point at the end. It'll suit the style, I think, yeah? Convince us to come. We are the songsters. We want to join you.
And can we increase the tempo?
Yes.
Come on, come on, oh,
yes.
Come on, ye songsters of the sky. We can dissemble, in this wood.
Yes. Keep going. In one.
Come on, come on, ye songsters of the sky.
Yeah, good. Let's take it. So you've woken us up. We're convinced. We're gonna go with you.
With volume, if nothing else.
Yes. We're like, what just happened? Yes, we'll go with you. Well, we'll go with you. So when you start, this is an important lesson for all of us. When we're wanting to energize something, like for example, when you have come all, come all. These are like building and building. I want you to have that energy there, but sing with all the elegance that you have in the soft stuff, you know? So we can find, is this the F? Can I have an F? Yeah, good. So when you hear come all,
I'm like forte everywhere.
Yeah, it's easy, right? Because you're in a master class and you're like, I'm supporting. Yes, so yeah, it's all good. But I think we can find that presence of tone in a softer start, nice and clear, but then just let it build into the sound, yeah? Sarah, what do you think is a good spot? Maybe that second measure of the second system, and then she'll come in on come all? Or go back? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Good. Good. So be confident in the soft, nice and clear.
Come on, come on, ye songsters of the sky.
Yeah, good. good, good, good. I'm gonna go back. Notice I'm not even doing work on the runs because they're really, they're there. I want to come
Except
back
for
to
the breath.
this moment. Can I have the F to the B flat of come all? So just casually a cappella, like it's a conversation between you and me. I'm gonna sing it. I want you to call and response it. You just repeat what I do.
Okay.
Come all,
Come on.
here, come all. Yeah, you feel that tiny place? That's the little edges of her vocal cords being like, doing a little shimmer. Yeah, can you give a little hum?
Come on.
Yeah, even softer.
Come.
And think of that vowel. Yes, that's a beautiful, like that's not an insignificant thing that you're doing. That's actually the genesis of a lot of really lovely singing, is that tiny little thing you're doing. We pay attention to like the runs, which we should. They take a lot of technical work. And the high notes, which we should. But that allows you to decrescendo and diminuendo and have beautiful contact with your vocal cords. So trust that spot. Come all to me.
Come on.
Right on your first note. Come all. Take your time.
Come on.
Yeah, good. Show off that first vowel.
Come.
Yes, good. That's it, that's it.
Okay.
We're probably like running way out of time, yes? Oh, this is bad because 30 seconds. Okay. Yeah. Let me give you just a couple little quick thoughts here as we finish. So, your onsets, like your starting sounds are very energized, and your offsets, the way you release sound in Purcell should be at least as energized. You know, when you have ha ha harmless and the ha good, no none.
Okay.
Yeah, so each of those, use those final consonants to really springboard off your sound. It doesn't have to feel heavy, but thanks, Joan. But we want to feel, energized, and that helps that helps you from feeling heavy as you're singing as well. This is beautiful work. Let's give her a hand. Good, very good. Yes. Oh, all right. Oh, Black Swan. I'm such a Menotti fan. I almost wrote my dissertation on him, but alas, yeah. I'm sorry about my terrible time management skills. Half the time I haven't even hit start. This is the problem. So help me adjust however we need to, but I'm gonna stay. Okay. I'm sorry, friends.
Oh, all right. I'm Srinidhi Narayanan, and I'm going to be singing Black Swan from The Medium.
Wonderful.
The sun has fallen and it lies in blood. The moon is weaving bandages of gold. Oh, black swan, where away has my lover gone? Torn and tattered is my bridal gown, and my lamp is lost, and my lamp is lost. With silver needles and with silver thread, the stars stitch a shroud for the dying sun. Oh, black swan, where away has my lover gone? I had given him a kiss of fire and a golden ring, and a golden ring.
Excellent. We're going to pause here. I want to just do a couple quick things in this opening section before we go into the last really cool part. So, this text is so spooky. This opera is so spooky. Your instincts are so good. Actually, your sound is very consistent. Your tone is very lovely. And I think one of the things about this text is just How do we communicate? I mean, these are not words that that your audience is expecting to hear, right? You don't sit down in your seat with your opera glasses, and then the sun has fallen and it lies in blood. Oh, it's that kind of song, yeah? So when we get to, okay, there's this, I think you can take a cue from page 27. Do we have the same pages here? Yeah. The second, like when she starts playing all this like undulating, can you just play the piano part in the first two measures of that second line? It's this like churning kind of like, it's so interesting because when you were singing your vocal line, which is essentially the same as how it started, as soon as she started playing that, you really started to respond with a deeper legato. Love that. I think we can find that from the very beginning. So sometimes as singers, we actually just have to make vocal noise. It sounds silly, right? Because we want to finesse every, the sun has fallen. But at the end of the day, we just have to kind of make consistent tone, breathe, tone, right? And then we pretty it up in all kinds of ways. But if you can, from the very beginning, just know the depth of that storytelling. This is like a lamenting kind of lullaby. Enjoy the creepiness of it a little bit more, maybe. And then when you get to the first time you have, can I have a G to a D, please? Yeah. So when you have, oh, black swan, oh, black. So right before you go up to black, we're going to think about going out to black instead of up to black. Okay. It's just the next note out. And be generous and just spin that air through it, yeah? Take it right at the top for me. We'll jump forward after this. Okay. So feel that churn.
The sun has fallen and it lies in blood. The moon is weaving bandages of gold.
Use the vowels out.
Oh, black swan, where, oh, where?
Beautiful.
Where's my lovely gold?
Stop there. That's such a legato sound. That's beautiful. And I still caught all the words, which is impressive because these are hard words to sell. Beautiful. But I didn't hear any kind of like lift in the larynx or any kind of, that was beautiful. Always sing that way. I think you can find, just take this as a note on the top of the second page where you have torn and tattered is my, I would encourage her to like use the T's. It's a creepy thing. I think it's a color thing. Mm-hmm. Torn and tattered is my bridal gown. You can get a little bit more space on that vowel. Okay. Yes, good. I want to take it now to the end where we stopped, please. So let's take it. This is page 28. Second system, don't you hear? Be brave. Enjoy the storytelling. It's so great. Yeah? Here's your D. Here we go. 3, 4.
Don't you hear your lover moan?
Think of round and warm.
Eyes of glass and feet of stone.
Good. Use the vowels.
Shells for teeth.
Yes.
And weeds for tongue.
Neutral vowels.
Deep, deep down in the river's bed.
That's it.
He's looking for the ring.
Neutral place.
I saw it on high, never asleep.
Good.
He's looking for the ring.
Round it out.
Looking for the ring.
So there, it's marked rallentando, I think. You can milk it more. Looking for the ring. And then a tempo. The spools. Let's take it directly there, the spools. Here's your D. Here we go.
The spools unravel and the needles break.
That's it.
The sun is
excellent. So, how did your last note feel in particular?
I don't think I was ready for it.
Because I was about to just praise you up and down. Actually, I had a lot of spin in it. Yeah, it's good. How could you have felt more ready? Like, how could you have prepared it differently?
I mean, I think that my breath needed to be more,
Yeah.
just a little bit more grounded.
Yes, of course.
And I think ending it, I wasn't sure how to
Yeah.
do that, I think.
Yeah. So you bring up a great point, and I think we're. I'll end with this. Yeah, perfect timing. So when we're singing, and you're singing this lovely high note ending, a lot of times it's how do I get off of this sound gracefully? You're sustaining it very gracefully. A lot of times we have a tendency to kind of close down on that sound. So instead of putting the there, the gesture really wants to be on board. You toss it tall and open. As silly as that might feel, can you do that with me just in speech? Yeah. So really heady. On board. Yeah, exactly. There was still a little bit of a down. Think of your N on the ceiling. One more time. On board. Yes. Do your last phrase and then we'll be done. Oh, sorry guys. Just right on with my child on board.
The second one?
Just the last one. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna be brave. Okay, here we go. Nice space. Think tall. With my child on board. Yes, keep releasing. It's on the ceiling. Yes. So there's that feeling of that little cushion of space, cushion of air into the release. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes. All right. All right. David Lloyd, you're singing. Well, first of all, I love that your dad is singing. That's so lovely. Makes me want to. I'm going to call my dad on my drive home. It's going to be nice. But tell us what you're singing.
Yes, I'm singing "Till There Was You" from The Music Man.
Love it. Excellent. Anything that feels like you want to chat about, or should we just get right into it straight away?
Well, I'm always struggling a little bit to have enough breath under the vocals that I'm doing and to be able to finish strong, especially on the notes that I have to hold at the end.
Yeah.
So, and also not singing from the back of my throat and projecting out. All those things.
Great. Let's give it a go.
Okay.
Enjoy.
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all, till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all, till there was you.
Excellent. David, I'm going to pause you here because I want to establish one kind of minor thing, but I think it will have major payoff right before we go into some upper register work. You have a really lovely tone. I love it. It's very pretty. So this can be, you can motivate this. It can be, we can sing this song from a perspective of romance. It could be anyone you feel magical about. I sang this to my firstborn son, who's now almost 19 years old. I know you have a grandbaby coming very soon. But whoever your you is in this story, it could be you personally, it could be you playing this character. When we land that, till there was you, as you're singing you, whatever it is that motivates that magic in your heart should carry through all 6 beats. And we can think technically about how to do it, but I think at the end of the day, we just have to you have to think of that person and love them so much through all 6 beats, yeah?
Right.
And then when you get to the gesture, can I have an E, please? But I never saw. Can it feel a little seamless so that the words never and saw are like, it's like one long word?
Okay.
It'll just help you connect with support into that. Let's take it directly on your vocal. The very first line, there were bells. Okay, here we go.
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all. Till there was you.
Yes.
There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them winging. No, I never saw them at all. Till there was you.
Good, let's keep going.
There was music, and there was wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Good. Wow, this is like entirely charming to me. I love this because like this strikes on an important point. I think there are some songs that belong to shows, that belong to iconic characters, that can be very convincingly excerpted. Like you wouldn't be cast in a Music Man in this role, right? But this is perfect. I love this in your voice, and you have this like kind of, I say this in a very positive way, like this croony, kind of timeless, jazzy, yummy thing going on. So I love that tone. And I think you took my suggestion to connect into never heard, never saw. It's great. I would encourage you, especially when you have never heard, use the H. The H is a great aspirate consonant to get your vocal cords to activate, so we don't have to be afraid of it. And you can sing very legato. Never heard them winging, singing, yeah? Let's, yeah, I guess we don't, yeah, saw them, yeah. Let's do it, can we do, this is page 3. Let's get into this, David. Can we take it, and there was music. Okay, put all of ourselves in the most kind of like magical fireflies are twinkling in the, you know, it's just, it has to have that kind of like magical Disney quality about it. And you've already got it somewhat, but bring us all the way there. So this is page 2, second system. Yes, please. And when you get to the never heards, let's use those H's. We'll finish with this. Here we go. And there was music.
And there was music, and there was wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you.
Yeah, your very last phrase, can you really milk till there was you? Really give me each of those notes. Let's finish with No, I Never Heard It at All. So we'll go, No, I never heard it. Yeah, here
Sure.
we go.
No, I never heard it at all till there was you.
Yeah, that's so nice. Wow, good. I did the unintentional like princess leg because that just means I loved it so much. If you were so inclined and your pianist was like really milking it with you, you could breathe before the last you. Till there was you. I think it's just like, yeah, that's an option, right? And then if you're like singing this in your local jazz club, then your pianist could take a verse and then you have a little dance break and you join them. Yeah, it's so lovely. Thank you so much. Let's
Thank
give it
you.
a hand. Good.
Thank you.
All right, one more. You guys have born with me, I guess is what we say. All right. We'll end with Irving Berlin's I Love a Piano. Annette, thank you for your patience. Oh my gosh, of course. Of course, this is such a fun piece. All right. Yes. When I was putting this on my iPad, I thought,
I'll start standing. Thank you.
yeah, this is like the perfect song. It's just so fun.
Ooh, this is new.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry, we're recording.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask, how long have you been like playing with the song? How new is it to you?
I first learned of it when I was 11, so we won't say how long.
Yeah. Fair. That's fair. I'm ready whenever you are.
But I picked it up again a couple months ago.
Oh, wonderful.
So a very long gap.
That's fun. It's fun to come back to things sometimes. I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Whenever you're ready, Annette.
Okay. As a child, I went wild when the band played. How I ran to the man when his hands swayed. Clarinets were my pets, and a slide trombone I thought was simply divine. But today, when they play, I could hiss them. Every bar is a jar to my system. But there's one musical instrument that I call mine. I love the piano. I love the piano. I love to hear somebody play upon the piano, a grand piano. It simply carries me away. I know a fine way to treat a Steinway. I love to run my fingers for the keys, the ivories, and with the paddle, I love to meddle, not on the music from Broadway. I'm so delighted if I'm invited to hear a long-haired genius play. So you can keep your fiddle and your bow, give me a Piano. I'd love to stop right beside an upright or a high-tone baby grand. Love piano.
Yes.
I love the piano.
Good. Let's
love
pause
to
here.
hear.
Let's pause here. Yes, because we'll take it before we go back. That's so good. Let's give her an initial hand. Yes. Good. Yes. I love. Okay, you're one of these people that I've only just met you, but I have an immediate sense that you know exactly what this song means when you perform it.
I try.
Well, and it's coming through perfect. So
Okay,
like,
good.
I want to lead with, like, your storytelling and your engagement is very natural and you're very engaging. It's like
Thank you.
wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you.
So the fun thing about singing Berlin is it's like early Great American songbook kind of music. It's like before Over the Rainbow, and it's like very T for two kind of, right? I feel like whenever I sing Berlin, I have to fight this urge. Sometimes successfully, others times not. But so it's got that swing, and I think this is really good. When you have, like on the second page, but today when they play, I could hiss them. Every bar is a jar to my system. Like, you're already having fun with the language. He does these really fun rhymes that are lost today, you know, like, and I think you can go further to just bring out some of that rhyme.
Okay.
Great breath connection into the ends of phrases. You're managing your breath really well. So one thing I want to do, let's take it from the chorus so that we can sync up with piano a little bit. After all, this song is about the two of you together. We can work this teamwork. So it can swing a little bit more, I think. Ba-dum, ba-bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. Oh, yes! Oh, good! Yes! Oh, I love it. That's so good. So let's take it. Can we take it from page 3? That's so good. Take it from page 3. This is the first time you sing the chorus.
Okay. And will this be the first time around? Because I sing it twice.
You do. Let's take it the first time. Okay. And then, like this time when we're with piano, when we have 1, I know a fine way, and 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So just enjoy those silences because they're like very rhythmic too. You can have a scarf move. Yeah.
Sure.
Good. Let's take it. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds perfect. I'll let you lead it, Sarah.
Love piano. I love piano.
Good.
I love to hear somebody play upon the piano.
Good.
A grand piano.
Good.
It simply carries me away.
Yes. 1.
I know a fine way.
And 1.
To treat a to run my fingers o'er the keys, the ivories, and with the pedal.
Okay.
Well, I love to meddle.
Yeah, let's go.
Not only music from Broadway. I'm so delighted if I'm invited to hear a long-haired genius play. So you can keep your fiddle and your bow. Give me a P-I-A-N. Oh, I'd love to stop right beside an upright or high-tone baby grand.
Yes, good, very, very good. And I felt like we really found each other in that. Fantastic. So, like, honestly, this is like in really good shape. Let me just give you a couple of ideas. Just give you a couple of ideas.
And
yeah, please, please.
No, I have usually I run it a second time through starting, and I have some more ideas for that one.
Things.
But I want to hear.
No, let me give you a couple thoughts, and then we'll go like the second time. That's great. I'm glad you said it.
Yeah.
So if you look on page 3, like there's a lot of texture in this, right? Like where it's like you can have your internal tap dancer going.
Yeah.
Ba-bum, ba-bum-bum.
It's hard not to have an extra.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not stopping you. So I think enjoy that like little tap, 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 ba-bum, kind of thing. But then when you get to hear somebody play, see if we can go the short, 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 and then the long, 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 long stuff. Let me just hear a little bit more of that. And maybe when we do the second chorus this time, we can enjoy some of that like rhythm. Yeah. And then, your instincts are really good. Go further in the legato stuff. Yeah? Great. Shall we? Yes.
Okay, sure.
Perfect.
Hello.
And we'll finish with that. Thank you so much.
I love piano. I love the piano. I love to hear somebody play upon the piano.
Good.
A grand piano.
Yes.
It simply carries me away.
Yes.
I know a fine way keys, the ivories, and with the pedal. Oh, I love to meddle, not only music from Broadway. I'm so delighted if I'm invited to hear a long-haired genius play. So you can keep your fiddle and your bow, give me a P-I-A-N-O. Oh, I'd love to stop right beside an upright or high-tone baby grand.
Yes. Good job. That's fantastic. Wow. Yeah, this is like the perfect closer. I mean, what do you even follow this with? That's so good. I love, and I think this is a great reminder for us when we're doing a song like this that has a tag and we take the tag and we do the repeat. Doesn't mean that you have to add a ton of stuff to it, but I think what you did was so tasteful and it wasn't just a straight repeat. It kept our interest, it kept us involved. And yeah, that was fantastic.
Thank you. This was so fun.
Good
Thank
job.
you so much.
And thank you so much to all of you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for being patient with my time management skills or lack thereof. And thank you so much to our pianist and to Sarah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Just cold stuff, yeah. So much yeah. I've had my flu shot, I've had my fifth booster, so I'm all good. Well, but it takes you a little bit of process. Cute. It's better one than the other thing I worked on for church. Oh yeah, we're going into a week of concerts. Quite a song. It is quite a song. Yeah, it is. Thank you. Especially as she was working with you, I was hearing much more of the text. Yes. Even though you're working more on the vowels and the consonants, the text came very well. Maybe it's because I heard it and I was more focused on it. Emphasis. Oh, yes. Ooh. It's like there was power coming out. Yeah. We had a lot of really good music. Very good music. Yeah. Very good. Wonderful. Oh, yes. My pleasure. What a great job you did. Such a fun piece. You succeeded. Thank you. It was fun. Oh my God. Thank you. my laundry, go home.
Alright, that's right. So let's see. So we're gonna have to rotate it all the way around because the keyboard has to face this pillar.
Oh, okay.
So it's just spin, spin, spin. That's right. There we go. And then it backs into this nook, right up towards the pillar.
And then the wedge is on the.
That's right. Good. Don't run over any toes. Watch out. Good. And then we're gonna kind of move in. You guys really go well, right?
This way?
Yes. This is impressive. Oh, here we can probably hear it. This end can line up with the end of the cue. Yeah, it was great to hear you. You really wonderful. Thank you. No fingers? No?
No, I just don't want to hit the pew.
We want to be like snug to the cue.
Oh, snug.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, thank you. Pleasure. So these like take some